Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rhapsody Music here in Anthem, Arizona for another episode of our Rhapspired video series. As you can see, we're in a different venue than we normally are in the building. We're in one of 12 teaching spaces we have access to. We've got 9 lesson rooms, 2 classrooms, and our studio that you're most familiar with. This being one of our little bit larger classrooms, it allows us to do a couple different things. We can do some ensemble work, duets, trios, quartets. We also have the option of doing some classwork, whether we want to do some work on composition or theory or some young musician classes. We've got these larger spaces to work in throughout the building, so that's kind of a fun thing. We're going to do a little side journey in our presentation today. Sarah and I are going to play some music for you, play some duets, but we're going to focus in on the concept of sight reading. So for us musicians, we refer to sight reading basically as when given a new piece of music that we really are seeing for the first time or reading together for the first time, we want to make sure we are as close to performance ready as we can possibly push ourselves. Kind of that's every time. So all of us have a little different process of how we do that. We're going to read some tunes for you today, and then we're going to talk through the process of sight reading. Hopefully this will help you, or maybe share this with your kids and help them actually figure out how to process that music a little quicker right when they first get it. So we're just going to start. Right or left?
Right.
All right, and you'd like the top part?
I'll do one.
You got the bottom part of this
Yeah.
one? Okay. Can I get just a G from you?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I might flap. That I can adjust to. All right, here we go.
You start.
Colorado, you got it. Just gonna give you a breath of more in. So sight reading. So that was the first time Sarah and I ever played that duet together. I know when I'm looking at a piece of music, and most apparently I think when I'm teaching a piece of how to sight read to kids, I really go off of kind of working through the piece of the music step by step at one time. I think the district band directors, they've got something called STARS, which is signatures, time. I don't remember what the A stands for.
Acts.
Roadmap. Yeah, some of it, but. Basically, it's the same process. So first thing I'm looking for is I look at our key signature. I want to make sure that I know what key we're in. Are we major, minor? What are the flats and sharps that I have to remember to play throughout the tune? Then I go into the time signature. And on each of those, I'm looking for changes too. Sometimes there's a key change in the middle or a time change in the middle. And then I'm looking for the roadmap. A lot of times there's repeats, places of the music where we need to go back and cycle back to a different part. I want to know that ahead of time as well. So I take a moment to just scan that and make sure I'm pretty comfortable. So from your perspective, how do you approach that?
Pretty much almost the same exact thing. I always look at the key signature first, which I did not do before we read this, because I almost played a B natural instead of a B flat. So, yeah, definitely look at the key signature, time signature, seeing if time signature ever changes, if key signature ever changes. Same thing, roadmap, making sure there's no repeats or codas or anything like that. I also look for range to see just how high I need to play, or low, but mainly how high I need to play, making sure that I know exactly what I'm getting into.
Yeah, preparation, right?
Yeah.
There's that Boy Scout motto, always be prepared. Well, it really applies to what we're talking about here. A lot of times young kids, they'll get a piece of music and the only thing they do is they gravitate to the first bar at the top, The director counts them off and they start playing, and all of a sudden they run into things that they hadn't anticipated. So again, if you take just a moment to read, scan through the piece to the best you can, your student might find something that is new to them. They can also, even in band class, raise your hand and go, Mr. Director, Mrs. Director, I don't understand what I see in bar 8. Could you explain that to me, right? Then you get a chance also to preload some information as well. So this process works pretty good. So that was a duet out of the Easy Duet book. We're going to get rid of that because we're going to start stepping up a little bit here. And we're going to randomly, and I really am randomly do this, open a page. Sarah doesn't get it ahead of time, and we're going to go boom. Oh, we've got a 2-page piece of music here.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So we're going to take about 10 seconds. We're going to shorten up our process here, do a quick scan. Anything we need to be really aware of? Fantastic. Sarah, do you want to take the top or bottom on this one?
I'll play the top part.
I would like that, thank you.
Yeah, I saw that.
A little early in the morning for those A's at a piano level there. So, all right, this one is called Fanfare. That's another thing that's very important. I don't know if you prefer this. I always try to have my students look at the title of the music as well. Because if you have something that says Fanfare, that gives me an idea of how I should be playing it. If it says Lullaby, that also gives me information on how I should be playing it.
Not going to play it like a fanfare.
Yeah, not going to play it like a fanfare. All right, so Sarah's going to kick it off, and we'll make this work here. Fanfare. So, quick question for you. I've got to start, but I'm going to ask you. So, in your progression as a player, when did the concept of sight reading kind of really maybe shift gears for you to where you went, oh, this is something I should maybe focus on at a little different level?
Probably senior year or freshman year of college.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. Was there something particularly that happened?
So I went into the Phoenix Youth Symphony.
Okay.
And I was playing a lot harder music.
Right.
So there was that shift, and I realized that I wanted to go to college for music. So there was that shift, and then I mainly just playing harder music that I had to really focus on,
Right.
and that I didn't just get it in front of me and I can just play it.
Yeah, yeah. I've always been a relatively good sight reader. Like for me, something that clicked early on, and I don't particularly know why. I mean, I had musical parents, so I always contributed that. So I was usually pretty good all the way through, but I did become a little lazy. Like into my junior year in high school, I got a little lazy because I kind of was ahead of other people. So I noticed that. But my sophomore year in college, I was auditioning for the jazz band program at Central Washington University, and I was auditioning for the top jazz band. And it was the decision day for that band, and I didn't make it. I didn't make it. And the director said, "Mike, so sorry, thanks so much. I'm going to have Tim take the chair." So of course I was kind of distraught because I don't like not getting picked for things.
Yeah.
But a little bit. At the same moment, they were starting the auditions for the second jazz band down the hall. So I literally put my horn in my case, walked out to the other room, walked in there, 30 guys sitting there, he was already giving instructions. I walked in, he's like, "Oh, hey Mike, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh." He's like, "All right, so we're going to start with our sight reading piece. Who wants to go first?" I raised my hand, I pulled my horn out, I walked over, and I was angry. I mean, I was just angry.
Yeah.
And I read that thing down. And he goes, "Well, Mike's in. By the way, guys, that's how you sight read an audition." And that kind of tweaked me to go, oh, that really is an important thing for me to be able to process and go through. Here we go. So, all right, Intermediate number 1 book is also gone. We're stepping it up one more time.
Oh, intermediate volume 2.
Intermediate volume 2. This is significantly different than intermediate volume 1. For 2. Yeah, why don't you randomly pick a page? You can't blame me for anything. Ooh.
Oh no, what did I do?
This is a piece. Okay, all right.
Okay.
We are going to take a moment to scan this real quick here. We have a cut time piece in 2/2.
Oh, I hate cut time.
I'll just think of it as a fast one. It is entitled Canzona. The title is In the 16th Century Venetian Style. That will challenge us a tad just to get it stylistically correct. Definitely more interplay, not as much unison kind of line together stuff. So
You can play the top part.
okay. Okay, now we have a piece that it's in cut time and it has 8 notes on it, but the 8 notes are going to present themselves like 16th notes because of the time signature. So I'm going to come back and remind myself, okay, what is my most difficult line? And I'm probably looking at da da dun dun da dun dun da dun dun da, and I want to have that establish my tempo. I don't think we want to go much faster than that for the read. Bum 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 bum. That speed, you good with that?
Yeah.
So that's going to put us at about a 1 bum bum beep deep deep deep. All right, here we go. Where the key signature technically changed and were putting B flats at me and I didn't see when it went back. So I missed about 8 bars of playing B naturals. So if you heard some minor stuff in there when you thought major, that was my fault there. But that's one of those things that you're looking through and preparing for. I handled the original kind of subito, or not subito, the hidden key change, but then I didn't get back to where we were on that one.
Yeah, started in G major, then I went to the dominant, D major, and then I went to the parallel minor, G minor, and then I went back to G major.
I didn't get the G major back at the restatement.
You did not. It's okay. I totally messed up the end when you started to slow down.
As we get more into heart of music, and again, people make mistakes. Some of my greatest heroes of all time, I got to watch Alan Vizzuti play a live concert, who, in my opinion, is one of the top 5 trumpet players of all time. And he's up there, and he just clams right in the middle of a cadenza. And he just looked at us and went, and finished a cadenza. And you might notice other things, like even as we're beginning to play, you can start to also see some interaction as players. Like this was very much a piece where there's a lot of handing off of line back and forth to each other. So at our experience level, we're really trying to even create that level of sight reading, where how can I musically play this correctly the first time? Am I getting my crescendos and my decrescendos? Am I reading the line correctly and handing it off? Yeah, we're never too young to do that. Even my 6th grade, 7th grade players, one of the first things I try and tell them is, we don't want to just see notes on a page. We are really playing music. So every time you play with your best sound, play with the musicality, try and create something that's really enjoyable for people to listen to.
Yeah.
What anything else? What are you thinking of?
This too was actually really cool. I liked it a lot. Key signature is so important.
Yeah.
But definitely when you're sight reading, looking at what kind of accidentals are coming up is also really important. That's exactly why I picked the bottom part.
Yeah, looking ahead, being prepared. So, all right, we're now pulling up to the advanced book. Let's see what we get. I'm ready. I'm ready. Ready for my close-up, Mr. DeVille. Okay, we got a couple choices here. I'm gonna let you pick the side of the page.
Oh, what a choice. You know, let's go with the Bach piece.
Then you get the top part.
Well, you played top last time, so I already know.
All right, okay. So now this piece is definitely, it's in Lego con Brio. It is in 2/4, kind of a subtle key of D, but it has a ton of accidentals in it. Definitely some repeated sections, which for the essence of sight reading, we will take all the repeats because we want to make sure we are being true to that. And there's some technical things that are definitely at a different level on this. All right. Sarah's got the more difficult 16th note moving part, so she's really going to get to establish the tempo on this piece. And we probably do an actual count off on this one for us to jump in.
Okay. Alright. Got to make sure if I'm doing left or right C.
I got a couple low C sharps that I got to think about, which is that 12th finger. Otherwise, I'm pretty easy. Okay, I'm ready. Pretty well done. I'm going to step up the challenge on us on this one. So sometimes when you get to a sight reading thing, there is a time when you're going to sight read it once at a pace that you can get some things right. But it is written at a Lego con Brio, so we should probably do it some justice. Let's just go no repeats one time.
All right.
And let's get to.
Well, you gotta think. Okay. How I think about Allegro is I always think 120, and I think of Stars and Stripes.
But with brightness, so I'd like to go 128 instead of 120.
Okay.
It's just a little pressing here. I'll count off so you can get ready. 1, 2, ready. She's going to be mad because I took it faster than yet when we played it. Yeah, nice job.
Yeah,
all
I
right.
got it.
And here's kind of a fun thing. I heard a lot of kids, a lot of musicians in general will complain about it. What we do to prepare for this ultimately is hard work. We're playing a lot of hours of scales. We're doing a lot of hours of reading. We're practicing articulation and studying. There's a lot of work that goes into doing what we just did. And a lot of people talk about, well, that's a lot of work, and I just want to have fun when I play my music. I got to be honest, being able to chunk away to piece of music like that with a fairly high degree of difficulty, I think that's fun. To me, that's fun. When I get to play masterworks by some of the greatest, band directors or orchestra, or not band composers or orchestra composers, that to me is fun. when you can go, yeah, I just got that.
There's something that my teacher right now says, Dr. Joshua Gardner, technical proficiency allows musical freeness.
Yeah, if you're limited by your technique, you are not going to play as open, as free, and have nearly as much fun as when you've exceeded what you need to do. Yeah, mastery. You think about there's a concept of mastery that runs around, and I think really it goes in every profession and every approach. It's the 10,000 hours to mastery. You know, you can talk to athletes, you can talk to trainers, you can talk to business professionals, you can talk to musicians, people with a skill set. There is that belief that it's 10,000 hours of work to mastery, right? That's a lot of hours, and we put a lot of time in. So, all right, we're going to get one more duet for you today. I think we're going to get out of this line, and we're going to actually play.
No.
Nah, let's do the clarinet.
Oh, I don't know, but the jazz one would be fun.
Maybe we'll play two more.
Okay, two more.
All right. So we're going to jump into the Boxman-Rubenk series of duets, which is a fairly complex series of duets, and we're going to read out of a clarinet book, which my trumpet instructor in college always made me read out of clarinet books because he said it would make me a better sight reader.
Clarinet music is usually always just a tiny.
Well, they got a lot more fingers they can use, and they got range that goes higher than the trumpet. So I think this one covers range okay. I think even the bottom part is only down
I
to
think
the
it only
low
goes
A
to
sharp.
Oh, A sharp, yeah.
And A down there, okay.
Cool.
So I'll take the low part, obviously.
Yeah.
In that case. All right. Allegretto Rondo by Pleyel.
Why do you keep doing stuff with sharps?
I didn't open the book, you did.
I know.
Okay. You like flats more, huh?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of a win thing we do. No repeats, no key changes, some accidentals, a lot of arpeggios.
Ooh, I love arpeggio.
Doodly doodly doodly. Okay. How fast do you go? Okay. That's beautiful. Page turn.
Okay.
2, ready. That's playing duets. You always want to make sure you stay in your line. You know, again, there were some errors that happened in there, which is, I think, is always a very good thing. Students need to understand they're going to make mistakes. They're going to make
100%.
mistakes. I tell kids, hey, number one, we have to aim for 100% because you really don't want to be missing 10% of your notes through a tune and get a 90% for an A minus. That doesn't make sense. But they're gonna miss notes. If they obsess or perseverate or stop on every missed note, they're never going to progress. So you heard us miss notes, but what you did not hear us do is stop.
We never stop.
Continually going, especially when you're playing in a group or with another person. That music is a live, linear thing that never ceases, and so you have to be committed to going on. So you let the mistake get behind you, you reset, and keep going forward, okay? And at times, there may be times where I might stop playing for a moment, but I'm always tracking to come in at the next spot in time. I can't go back and fix those things at the moment, so cool. You want to try a little jazz thing, huh?
Yeah.
Guys, I appreciate so much if you've tuned in today to see us. As again, we're doing all of our Rhapspired videos. We sure have been enjoying doing this process. We're loving that people are starting to jump in and make some comments. Again, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram, Rhapsody Music, Rhapsody Music AZ. Our website is rhapsodymusicaz.com. Pardon me. And just find everything you can about what we do and tie in with us. And again, if you've got some things you'd like to see us do, we'd love to do it. So make some suggestions for us. Our phone number is 623-465-7060. My email is mike@rhapsodyschoolofmusic.com or lessons@rhapsodyschoolofmusic.com. We sure would love to interact with you. Thanks so much. We're going to close out with a fine romance. A little bit of a change in style, some jazz stuff going on here. All right.
All right, you're playing top.
I'm playing melody?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this book is written a little bit like, the second part always takes on a little bit of the rhythm section role, right? You get that little background. And I will take the melody. And we do have a DS.
Mm-hmm.
And a, thank you, and a coda. All right. Society swing. I've never heard a style called society.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Like, I don't know
I
what
think
that
that's
is.
just going to be a nice. About that speed. 1, 2, 1, 2. Fine romance. Sarah, nice playing with you today.
Yeah,
Thank
great.
you so much. You guys have a blessed week. Thanks so much for being with us.